A federal election is still a year away, but already the polling has begun. A new Abacus poll shows 43% of Canadians want to see the Liberals re-elected next year compared to 50% that would prefer a change in government. The poll also looking at which party people would consider voting for. 52% said Liberal, 51% said Conservative, and 49% said they would consider voting NDP. The poll surveyed 2,000 Canadians in July. The margin of error is plus or minus 2.2%. And Danielle Smith from 770 CHQR joins us this morning to continue the conversation on this story. Danielle, what do you make of this poll?
Well, I'm going to talk with David Coletto with Abacus to find out a little bit more about what he sees on it. This has got to be so frustrating to Albertans because every day I hear from people frustrated with the Trudeau Liberals, and every day we hear of gaffes and problems at the federal level, whether it's not being able to get a pipeline built or the NAFTA negotiations or international trips that turn out to blow up in his face. And yet it doesn't seem to have much of an impact in the places where it matters. I mean, it doesn't matter if you can get 62% or more of people voting Conservative in Alberta. The place to win seats are British Columbia, Ontario, and Quebec. And so if an election were held today, it looks like we'd see the status quo, another majority Liberal government, which is sort of interesting because politicians, when they get into this last year window, they have to make a decision on the timing of when to call an election. Most of the election laws are written so that you can't call it later than 4 years, but you can call it earlier. And there has been rumbling about whether or not to take advantage of this. You can see why they would. No doubt the turmoil on the right with Maxime Bernier splitting off and trying to create his own party appears to be cannibalizing support from the Conservatives. And it just shows, though, how much, I mean, if you look at the national numbers and how relatively close they are, it shows that even just hiving off 4, 5, 6 percentage points in key ridings can make the difference between winning or losing. So we're going to see if we can talk with David Coletto about some of the dynamic happening in the country to see if we can understand why.
Just really quickly, Danielle, because we're just about out of time. Does this poll also indicate what the division is between provinces? I mean, we know that he has been doing lots of work, the Prime Minister, in places like Quebec, but I mean, how do Albertans feel about this?
Well, it's sort of interesting because although we would be upset about the frustration on not moving forward with Trans Mountain, it would seem that those who are Liberal supporters are quite happy. He was really tacking to the left. He's come back to the center by supporting pipelines, buying a pipeline now 22 weeks out, new process to finally ultimately approve it. That might be winning him back some of that moderate pro-business support that was flagging, and it could result in him winning next time around.
It's going to be an interesting year ahead. Thank you very much, Danielle.
My pleasure.